let's go over the card as we have it right now. There are two matches that are scheduled for the pre-show, and it is both of the Battle Royals. No surprise. We're going to do the women's one first. It's the second annual WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. You have Asuka, Carmella, Naomi, Lana, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Nikki Cross, Dana Brooke, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, Mickie James, Zelina Vega, and potentially others as well that could be added as time gets closer to WrestleMania. As us recording, those are the names we have at this point. Clearly, Asuka should be winning this. I don't think there's any doubt here unless they go for a surprise and maybe have one of the NXT people win it. They need to do right with Asuka here, and I think this is a way to throw her a bone here. And I suspect Asuka should win, and she is going to win. So, and if I were to be booking it, I would have Asuka win as well. So, I think we're in agreement on that. Next, we have the 6th annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. It features Colin Jost and Michael Che of Saturday Night Live. They're in the match, along with Braun Strowman, Andre Cien, Apollo Crews, Titus O'Neil, Tyler Breeze, Jinder Mahal, No Way Jose, Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, Kalisto, Metallic, Lince Dorado, Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel, Heath Slater, Rhino, Victor, Connor, Mustafa Ali, Shelton Benjamin, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, Matt and Jeff Hardy, Otis Tucker, EC3, and there could be others added as well before it's all said and done. There's only one possible outcome here. It's got to be Braun Strowman winning this. I just don't see an avenue really for anyone else. I would imagine that either Colin Jost and or Michael Che will eliminate someone before they get eliminated. Braun Strowman should be winning this. I think he's going to win it, and if I was booking it, you have to have Braun Strowman win it. That's all there is to it. So we have that. Now let's get on to the actual card itself. Essentially, all the titles are on the line except the Raw Tag Team title, and that could still be added before WrestleMania. And if it is, I'm going to take the Revival to retain against whoever they take on, if it happens at all. Let's kick it off with the Cruiserweight title match. We have Buddy Murphy putting the Cruiserweight title on the line against Tony Nese. I actually saw this match in Hershey. They had the match there, and of course Buddy Murphy won and retained. I suspect that will be the case here. I don't see any reason to take the title off Buddy Murphy at this point. I know he's a heel now, I guess. I didn't realize he was a heel because I don't watch 205 Live, really. So I suspect Buddy Murphy to be retaining, and I think that's the way it should happen. So give me Buddy Murphy to retain. Next up is we have the WWE US title match. It's going to be Rey Mysterio Jr. taking on Samoa Joe. Could they throw Rey Mysterio Jr. a bone here and have him win? They could. Do I think it's going to happen? No. I'm going to take Samoa Joe to win and retain. I don't see him taking the title off here. There's no reason for him to lose the title just after getting it here recently. So give me Samoa Joe to retain. Next up is the WWE Intercontinental title match. It's going to be Finn Balor, who will be as the Demon King here. He'll be using that persona. He's going to be taking on Bobby Lashley here. And I imagine Leo Rush is going to be there as well. This should be a great match. And I think we are getting the title change here. I think Finn Balor is winning the title back as the Demon. You have to have some titles change on the show, and I think this is one of them. I am going to take Finn Balor to regain the Intercontinental title here from Bobby Lashley, and which should be a good match, hopefully, if they give it enough time. We have the Fatal 4-Way for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. We have the champions, Sasha and Bayley. They're taking on the Iconics, WWE Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix and Natalya, and then you have Tamina Snuka and Nia Jax as well. Fatal 4-Way for those titles. This is going to be interesting to see how they do this. I'm pretty sure the Iconics are not winning here. I think it'd be nice to have Beth Phoenix and Natalya win. I don't think they're winning it. So I think it comes down to Tamina and Nia and Sasha and Bayley. There's only one correct outcome here, and that is Sasha and Bayley retaining, and I am picking them to retain the title. They should not be losing the title here at WrestleMania. Even though, like I said, on Raw, they were showing some heel tendencies. I don't know if that's going to come into play or not. We'll have to watch for that. But give me Sasha and Bayley to retain the Women's Tag Team titles. Next up, we have a Fatal 4-Way for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. We have the champions, the Usos. They're defending it against Ricochet and Aleister Black. And then you have Sheamus and Cesaro, The Bar, and then you have Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura. Could they? It's a possible. I think there's a chance they could do the title switch here with Ricochet and Aleister Black winning it. I don't know. I'm not quite convinced yet. Of course, there's a lot of rumors about the Usos with their contract situation coming up. Maybe they sign new contracts and they may be holding on to the titles here. I think if one of the teams is going to knock off the Usos, it's Ricochet and Aleister Black. I just don't think it's their time yet. I'm going to take the Usos to retain the tag team titles here for SmackDown. So give me them to retain. Next up, we have a no-holds-barred match. Triple H taking on Big Dave Batista. Triple H is putting his career on the line. If he loses, his career in the ring is over. And if Triple H wins, I guess that's what happens. He wins and his career goes on, even though he's never in the ring wrestling anymore, except maybe once a year at WrestleMania. No question here what's going to happen. We know why Big Dave is back. He is here. He is back to put Triple H over. That's exactly what happens. I think they're going to have time here. They're going to be given time here, and I got to go with Triple H. I'm picking Triple H to beat Big Dave. He'll probably hit him with the pedigree for the win. And this will be Batista's last match, and Triple H goes over, and Batista does the job for him. So Triple H's career in the ring will continue. We have the Falls Count Anywhere match between The Miz and Shane McMahon next. Again, this will be interesting. Of course, with a McMahon in the match, you never know how they might book it. I think at this point you gotta. I gotta go with the Miz here. I'm picking the Miz to win here and get some retribution from Shane. Will the Miz's father, George Mizanin, will he play a factor in the match? You gotta think he's gonna be there, maybe in the front row again. We'll wait and see, but I'm gonna pick the Miz to beat Shane. It wouldn't shock me if Shane won, but give me the Miz to beat Shane and get some retribution. Next up, we have a farewell match for WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle, as Kurt will be taking on Baron Corbin unless something happens at the last minute. I know the fans are not too happy that Baron Corbin's the opponent for Kurt Angle instead of someone like a John Cena or maybe a Shelton Benjamin. I gotta go with Kurt Angle to win here. Baron Corbin does not need the win here. He does not need the rub, as they call it. Kurt Angle should go out on top with a win here. It's not a big match on the card. It's not going to be in a high-profile spot, but Kurt Angle should be winning going out here. So give me Kurt Angle to beat Baron Corbin. Next up in a grudge match is going to be AJ Styles taking on Randy Orton. Again, looks like a great match. At some point, you have to have a heel win here. And I'm picking Randy Orton to win here over AJ Styles. I think they're going to have a great match if given enough time. I think they give you false hopes with AJ winning, but I think Randy Orton does hit an RKO in the end and beats AJ Styles. So give me Randy Orton for the win. Next, we have Roman Reigns taking on Drew McIntyre in a grudge match. It's gone personal, especially with Drew McIntyre referring to him as Joe and calling out his family. Of course, this is one of Roman Reigns' first matches back since his battle with leukemia. You have to think they're going for a feel-good moment here. I got to take Roman Reigns to win here. I would rather have Drew McIntyre win personally, but I think they're going with Roman Reigns here, and I'm going to pick Roman Reigns to win because they need the feel-good moments. So give me Roman Reigns for the win over Drew McIntyre. Next up is for the WWE title. It's going to be Kofi Kingston getting his first title opportunity. It's going to be against the new Daniel Bryan. You got to think Rowan's going to be out there as well. I'm not sure if the New Day is going to be out there with Kofi. We'll have to wait and see. And there still may be an opportunity that more people get added to this match. I know Kevin Owens is nowhere to be found on this card anywhere. I don't know if they're going to shoehorn him into this match, or if they're going to put Kevin Owens in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. You got to think Kevin Owens is going to have a part somewhere in this show. Maybe it's here. If that's the case, I know a lot of people are probably not going to be happy with what I'm going to say, but I have to go with logic here. I think, they made that title, that specialty title for Daniel Bryan here not too terribly long ago, the that hemp title that he's got now. So I'm gonna take Daniel Bryan to retain the title here. I don't think Kofi's winning the title. I think you get the false hopes that maybe Kofi comes within an eyelash of winning. But I think in the end, Daniel Bryan should be retaining the title here. I don't see Kofi winning it. So give me Daniel Bryan to retain the WWE title. Next up is the WWE Universal title match. It's going to be Seth Rollins taking on Brock Lesnar. Of course, Paul Heyman's going to be there as well. Will Dean Ambrose make an appearance in this match? He's nowhere to be found on this card anywhere, and I got to think Dean Ambrose is going to be involved in this perhaps. So unless he's involved in the Roman Reigns Drew McIntyre stuff. To me, I think I think a lot of people want to see Seth Rollins win the title here. I think people are tired of Lesnar, of course, not being around, not being universally liked. Someone who's almost never around to defend the title. It's like he has a death grip on that title. I think I'm going to disappoint people here. I'm taking Brock Lesnar to retain the title. I don't think Seth Rollins is winning it here. And you can't switch every title on the show, and I just don't think Brock Lesnar's losing the title here, because it was between this match and then the women's match that was going to be in the main event spot. I think with them putting this, which I think will be the next to last match, I think people might think that Seth Rollins is going to win here. I'm taking Brock to retain the title. And then finally, in the main event at WrestleMania, it's the winner take all triple threat for the Raw Women's title and the SmackDown Women's title. It's going to be Ronda Rousey putting her Raw title on the line and Charlotte Flair putting her SmackDown title on the line, as they're going to be going in there with a triple threat style with Becky Lynch as well. This is the most intriguing match, obviously, for me personally. This is the match I want to see. I think we all wanted to see it. I think everyone wanted to see Becky and Ronda one-on-one, but they shoehorned Charlotte in here. I talked on the podcast about why they needed Charlotte here, and this one's got me a little confused here. Obviously, I think what everyone is expecting is that Becky Lynch is going to win here. To me, I think that would be the right outcome, to have Becky Lynch win, and you get that big moment at the end with her celebrating, holding both titles as they go off the air. But I've gone to thinking about it a little bit. Could Vince McMahon go for a swerve here and actually have Ronda Rousey win the match? Ronda could beat Charlotte and win the SmackDown title from her and retain her own Raw Women's title, and they can go off there with Ronda winning. I know the fans would be very pissed about that, and Becky Lynch obviously would not be happy. Charlotte would not be happy. I could see him doing a scenario in a situation where they have Ronda leave WrestleMania with both titles. I know there's all this talk about Ronda maybe taking time off after WrestleMania and maybe start a family and all that. And that could still come into play. But who's to say that she should lose here? You know what? For the longest time, I thought like everyone else that Becky Lynch was going to win here. And I think it's very likely she's going to win. But for my official pick, I'm picking Ronda Rousey. I think Ronda Rousey is leaving with both titles at the end of the night. I hope I'm wrong and Becky Lynch is the one who's standing tall at the end. But to me, you need to get Becky Lynch and Charlotte back together on the same page. I know it's going to happen eventually. You got to think maybe Shayna Baszler could play a factor in this. She's pals with Ronda Rousey. And from everything we're hearing, it looks like Shayna Baszler is ready to come to the main roster. And I know they have that shakeup coming up in about about 2 weeks here, so we're going to have the big shake-up, the big draft again. So I know Shayna Baszler is ready to go, so I'm going to take Ronda Rousey to win here, believe it or not, to close out the show. And I know it's going to make a lot of people upset, and I hope Becky Lynch does it and wins it like we all think she is, but I got to go with my brain here. I'm going to pick Ronda, and I hope I'm wrong, like I said, but I'm picking Ronda to win here, and they go off the air that way, so that is the WrestleMania 35 card. Of course, like I said, we could get a Raw Tag Team title match. I would pick the Revival to retain if there is a match added late as well. So that's what we have for WrestleMania 35.